Okay, are we live? We are live. All right, people. If you've been rocking with my channel for a long time, you about heard of my homeboy, but I'm gonna reintroduce him. I met this brother through Blog Talk. I like to debate and go at it and get in the woods with people. And there was a show out of Youngstown, Ohio, with a lady called Tracy and Friends, Tracy Winbush, and this dude, this dude used to call from Michigan all the time. She used to call him Michigan, which is what I call him. I know his real name, but that ain't important. What's important is what he got to say. And I noticed when I used to debate this brother, I was like, damn, this brother got his shit together. His shit airtight. I like his perspective. And we used to go at it all the time on different issues, but then he was like, damn, we kind of line up. He's like, you halfway there, you know. We used to go at it. And we used to go at it by religion. And that's really the only thing I remember when we disagreed on.
Yeah.
But then wisdom, you start saying, you know what, that ain't even, you start understanding when you really, when you're trying to move forward as your people, you don't really get into the religion aspect of things. You know what I'm saying? And then you start understanding that if, when you get past that and you start looking, you really got a lot in common with these brothers. So me and this brother got a lot in common. We see the world very similar. But I like this brother because his mouthpiece is together as far as strategy, understanding how Black people should operate the code that we should have. Oh, my bad. Different stuff like that. He got it gained together. He got it gained together. And y'all in for a treat. So without further ado, I introduce to y'all my homeboy Michigan. Say what's up to the people, man.
What's up, boy? Made me feel like a little old superstar or something. What's up?
Hey, look here. Hey, last time you was on my channel, folks was like, man, you need to get that dude Michigan back, man. That brother was going off. I was like, yeah, he a businessman, you know what I'm saying? And like Neely Fuller say, man, sometimes Black people, if you're not dealing with each other productively, sometimes it's not good to get around each other. He says sometimes because it's an artificial thing when you get around people and you sense hostility. Not that me and him have that, but a lot of times with Black folks, you have to have something that you come together for that's for the betterment and the, for productivity within your community. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? That's something I see with my homeboy right here. So I'm just gonna go and dive in because a lot of times this how me and him will do, right? I call him, he'd be like, what up? What you been up to? He'll be talking about business. And I'd be like, man, you heard about that bullshit, so. That's how I be, you know what I'm saying? Like I call him, I'd be like, man, you heard what so-and-so said? Or you heard it? Like that's real, you know what I'm saying? We talk about strategy, Trump, we talk about just political strategy. And what I really admire about this brother, he ain't with no emotional bullshit. He ain't with the emotions. That's not what he about, you know what I'm saying? He's about logic. What makes sense? Damn your emotions. What works, what's gonna work best for the Black community. Shout out to Ed. What's up, Edward Anderson? So, you know what I'm saying? I need y'all to really just zone in on what my brother got to say because he's a sharp dude. And we about to talk about. We're about to talk about Black business being a part of ADOS. And I think that there's a sentiment within the Black community because, and the reason what brought this video on was the ferocity that I'm getting attacked on that other video I did a couple of days ago. Like I'm getting people attacking with so much vigor and anger about the points that we were making in these videos about business, and everybody on that call was a businessman. So this is like the fourth, fifth brother that's coming into the mix. That's a business he got his own business. He doing real estate. Me and him got kind of similar paths. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to hear from somebody, and his shit is airtight, and he probably speak way better than I do and tell you and explain why he's saying what he's saying. Cause me, I might be like, man, that shit dumb as hell, but he'll explain. He'll explain why. You know what I'm saying? So what's up, y'all? So what I want y'all to do, sit back, get your popcorn, and enjoy the show. Now, first off, I'm gonna just go and look at some of the comments from that video, and I'm just gonna address that first before I even go into And I mean, I don't really care like that. I really don't care about what people have to say about me per se like that. I get upset, offended when people call me stupid. I'm human just like anybody else. But what I'm saying is I don't dwell on it. What really alarms me on this is the level of ignorance that we as a people have. That shit bothers me because when I see shit like that, I get worried because I'm like, damn, we really got a long way to go. You know what I'm saying? So, and I started saying, hey, the ADOS movement or descendant of slave movement is not just strictly one person's movement. And I think that, and this is my premise, and I think you agree with me on this. I think that Yvette and Tone have a place in this movement. I don't think that we need to throw the baby out with the bathwater with Yvette and Tone, because Yvette and Tone are very good and meticulous at getting down to the data as to where we are economically in this country. Now, some of this shit is just overblown and we're finna get into it. But for the most part, we need them in the movement. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I think that you don't need people being shunned right now. Like, we don't need Dr. Boyce and Yvette and maybe a Tariq Nasheed and all them beefing when it come. We need to be on one unified front. Everybody needs to be speaking DOAS, ADOS, or whatever you call it.
Let me break it down for a minute, bro. Just so we can put some, and you're absolutely right, but if you put some a little bit of context, movement, I think, the first thing we need to do is pump the brakes, because what we're talking about is identity politics. And, for people who probably haven't been involved in politics, and this their first take, it appears that ADOS is something new, but really it's another chapter in the book of identity politics for us here in America. Now, I think one of the things I was thinking about this earlier that just got a lot of attention and the hype around the ADOS is because of Barack Obama and what he did not represent for black folk. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because we most blacks who are at the early stages of their political understanding, that was the crowning event. Okay, we got a black president. Now he finna get down for black folk. Well, shit, we see that shit didn't happen, right? So now it looks like people are kind of waking up, and we trying to hone down and say, look, fuck that. We need some stuff that's particularly for us. So from that perspective, that's really not new. That's not new. If you put the ADOS concept on the other side of Barack Obama, there's not much difference between the ADOS and black nationalism at its core. What's the difference? You see what I'm saying? It's trying to hone down on identity politics. That shit is not new, man. So that helps put the context to what you're saying when you say the ADOS movement is not Yvette and Tone. Because the first thing people will say, oh, they started that shit. But pull the personalities out, right? We talking identity politics. And if you was to go down the list of what the ADOS stands for, you'll see that each one of those points throughout the history of what black folk been trying to do here in America. So, we need to pump the brakes on this shit. This identity politics is not new for black folk. All right. Now we can get into the particulars of ADOS, and most of the particulars at some point in time in our history here, people have already talked about us fighting for. So I just wanted to throw that in there before, because people who don't understand when they hear you say ADOS ain't Yvette, automatically they'll put up a red flag and say, shit, yes it is. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to throw that in there. But you can go ahead.
Yeah, and that's the point. That's the point. I mean, I wasn't a subscriber to the channel. I'm not one of the guys who I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like if I listen to a lot of this shit they say, I want to pull a gun out and blow my fucking brains out. Just real talk. Like that's how I look at it. I can't. If I believe that have that shit that some of these subscribers are regurgitating to me, I don't see how you can get out of bed. It ain't worth it. Why get out of bed in the morning? Right. Like if you really believe that your shit is fucked up and you ain't got no way out, and the only answer is that the government, because you gotta understand when you approach the government, that shit is so convoluted and so fucked up that you're gonna have to come into the government. You're gonna have to, first of all, get past Democrats that really don't give a fuck about niggas. Then you got to get past racists. That's my homeboy, Michigan. Then you got to get past racist people on the Republican side. Then you got to get past motherfuckers that's gonna come in there and give you some weak shit that they know it ain't gonna really help you that much. To where it's like, yo, we're gonna give you $100 billion. Like, get the fuck out of here. $100 billion is a drop in the bucket. Y'all know damn well y'all need, we need $100 billion per year for the next 50 years. Then we might be talking. You see what I'm saying? That shit need to become part of the national budget. Like, real talk. And it needs to be something. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And the thing about that, you're absolutely right, is again, like you said, what you're talking about is, like you said, regress, trying to get some redress from the government. And, you know, that's a chess game within itself. And particularly when you're talking about an unorganized group of Black people. And, you know, the key to, I think, the success of any type of federal initiative, because clearly that's what this is how tight is your shit at the local level, right? How organized are you at the local level? And because if you look at what has to happen on a federal level to even begin to get any of those points on the ADS passed, do you understand the type of interest groups and the type of white folk?
Hello? Well, let me go ahead. I think something happened with his phone, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep going until he comes back. But I agree 1,000%. I think that you're right. It's gonna be need. You're gonna need. I think you need a holistic approach to our community. A holistic approach, and that's what I'm about to get into.
Well, one, when you
go ahead, Michigan. Damn, he dropped off. He'll be back. But you need a holistic approach. You're gonna need to be able to address all issues, all angles, all sides, and you need something that's gonna be able to address a lot of this fuckery that we see going in our community, because the fuckery is what's holding us back. You know what I'm saying? And so when he gets back, I'm gonna come. We're gonna dive into some of this stuff, and I want you guys to get the point of what I'm trying to say, because I ain't gonna say I never, like, I for one don't believe no one person should be seen as the leader or the whatever of a particular movement like this, because when you have leaders, then you can be co-opted, which is what we have had happen for the last 70 years in our society, in the Black community. Black people have been getting co-opted every time someone of African descent gets an opportunity to go out here and start any type of movement, anything, they co-opt them. Great example, in the 70s, what's his face? Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson was actually down for the struggle at first in the 70s. Jesse Jackson, when he ran for president, they literally bought him. Like he was very anti-abortion. You could go back in the 70s and find clips and statements where Jesse Jackson was saying, look, man, if they don't get rid of abortion is put in the Black communities to kill babies, and abortion is just racist and this and that, and y'all killing off our future, this and that. You don't flip on some shit like that. When you believe something like that, you don't go back and start talking about women's rights. Up until the point now where they passing laws where if a baby's born and survives the abortion, just leave him there and poke his brains out and suck his brains out his skull. And this shit is evil, man. And they got this through by co-opting Black, representatives. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be able to separate the two. We can't just always assume that people are on our side just because they're saying that they're the leaders. We don't need leaders. That's real talk. I remember in the Old Testament, God told them not to get leaders before when Israel was a nation. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times when you centralize something like that, that person can become arrogant, that person can become conceited, and that person can think that this is their movement. They're the ones that's pushing this movement. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure if you go back in the days, even during the what was it? During the civil rights movement, that's what happened with our movement was the civil rights movement. If you go back and listen to Malcolm X, right? Malcolm X talked about the March on Washington. Just go listen to the speech. And I think I put it on my channel one time. Malcolm X said on the March on Washington, he said, look, black people on a grassroots level were able we're basically coming to Washington to burn it down. You know, exactly, Adrian. A lot of people can't turn out a big check. So Malcolm X was saying, look, a lot of people were coming to Washington from a grassroots level. They was talking about when you talk about Birmingham, when they was in Birmingham with the dogs and the hoses, they was whooping up on black folks. He said some brothers showed up with some shotguns, and them white boys stopped. See what I'm saying? So we got to understand that when the movement was at a grassroots level and it got co-opted with Martin Luther King, this is why I'm pushing against certain people trying to move it, because the people that's trying to push it are straight socialists. Like, not all of them, but straight socialists. They bash black business, and that shit is fucked up. Excuse my friend. And that cannot be the forefront of the movement. We don't need a particular leader. It's like Bitcoin. Bitcoin, and they dogging out Bitcoin, but Bitcoin ain't going no damn well. Like, I'm like, why are people dogging out Bitcoin and calling Boyce Watkins Mr. Bitcoin as if Bitcoin is just destroyed? That shit worth $4,000. I remember when it was $5, $10. And Michigan was there when it was $300, and I was telling folks to buy as many as they can. Remember that, Michigan?
Yeah. Look like I got disconnected there.
No, you good. But I was just telling them, man, remember Malcolm X talked about the March on Washington. He said that the people on a grassroots level wanted to push that. And then Kennedy sent the media up there to talk. And look, I respect King because he gave his life. But what I'm saying is they co-opted that movement with SNCC and King and made it to be something with the March on Washington, and they embraced it. But they controlled it. It was controlled opposition. But that was a grassroots move. They didn't organize that movement. They want to say Bayard Rustin did it. No, listen to Malcolm X. He was saying, look, people was getting sick of it, tired of it, and they was coming to D.C. to show out. And Kennedy sent King down there to try to quell the movement. It's a speech where he spoke on it. He said he gave them $1.4 million. He split it with 6 people or something like that. It was SNCC. It was the Southern Poverty Law Center, and a couple other people. They split this money up, and that's why those people are up there speaking, and the cameras all in their face. Remember that? Am I right?
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right. But the other thing that white folk do is, I've told you this before too. There's really only 2 ways, for the most part, to get something from, I call them crackers. Is one, either you're in a position to kick their ass, or 2, you got something they need, right? So,
yeah,
like, put that in front of the ADOS agenda before you go to white folk, and then answer that question. 1, are you in a position to whoop their ass or to force them to give you what you want? Or
no.
2, do you have what do black folk? What does the black community have that they need? Now, there's this myth about they need the black vote. Man, that's about the craziest myth I've heard in my life. I don't know where we get that shit from. If black
Why is that? Why is that, Michigan?
Okay, you got several things going on here. When you're talking about electoral politics, that's all voting. That's the voting side of it, electoral politics. You have a couple of places where blacks can sway an election for a particular candidate. And so we think that's our whole card, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a few places where we can affect the senator's race. But you're talking about a package deal that an entire House and Senate has to vote on, right?
Yeah.
A lot of those congressmen and senators, they don't even have to fuck with a black vote, right? None of their interest groups are majority black folk. So now how do you convince those individuals of your agenda? You have nothing that they need, right?
Yeah.
And you can't force them to. You don't have the financial backing because you're kicking capitalism out of this shit, right?
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? You're kicking capitalism out, so now you can't even bribe the motherfucker, right? So
Yeah.
that's the checkers part of it, man. Being able to elect somebody, that's checkers. Because you can you can elect somebody, and then all the interest group got to do is go to them with a bag.
That's it.
And
That's
now,
what's been happening.
right? So now you pissed off, and you're gonna wait till the next election cycle, then you'll get him out of there. Because here's the other thing: the races that blacks can affect. White folk don't have the same interests as black folk. So let's say you partner up with some crackers and elect a senator. But now when the senator gets in, he ain't fucking with you, right? What you gonna do? Recall him? Now you're assuming that the crackers that put him in want him out, which they not gonna want him out. So how you gonna hold his foot to the fire? You see what I'm saying? It's almost like, man, we playing checkers, man. It's almost like we playing checkers.
Exactly.
So the election side of it, that's the checker side of it. But I'm gonna, the test of the ADOS agenda. I'm gonna tell you what they need to do. What needs to be done? If the best place potentially to pull off some short-term victories outlined in the ADOS agenda is at the local level. That's where you can do preferential treatment at if you're the majority. You can say, fuck a cracker. You're the majority on the city council, and we got a preferential treatment here. What are they gonna do? You got
exactly
at the local level where you make up the majority. In most of the places where you make up the majority where you could do preferential treatment, and with preferential treatment at the federal level, you got an all-white police force with an all-black city council. White folks see that, man. They laugh. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you the children, you the laughing stock of the world. You balling your fists up at the federal level about what you want as far as preferential treatment, right? Set aside and where you want to control shit, and you got an all-white police force. Man, who does that, man? You got a public school system where 98% of all of the teachers are white. It's almost you want to build a skyscraper, motherfuckers ain't built the doghouse yet. You ain't controlling shit at the local level. How you gonna pump your fists at the federal level? That shit don't work like that, man.
That's why, look, I feel like that's the thing. I don't mind them going to the federal level saying whatever the fuck they want to say about reparations. Let's get that party going. But while we're doing that, because see, one thing you can say about the Tea Party, see, my brother was a Tea Party and is a Tea Party supporter. My brother's a staunch conservative. The Tea Party, like with Tracy and them up in Youngstown, remember? Tracy and Kevin Green, whatever his name.
Jeff Green,
Jeff and all of them, they was on the state. How you think Trump won Ohio? Trump had a strong ground game in Ohio with Tea Partiers. That's the thing. The Tea Party was a local thing. See, white folks moved on a local, state, and national level. And they, you know what I'm saying? They already economically empowered, so they ain't even have to talk about that shit. They already got money. They already own 87% of the wealth, so that ain't even a conversation about getting the money. You see what I'm saying? Right. Whereas with us, we starting from ground zero with nothing. So first, we got to start at the state and local level. We can go with the federal, but we also need to go and not shun money. That's why I feel like it can't be married to a group of socialist people who claim stuff.
No, you can't.
In fact, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna go a little funny with it. one of my subscribers commented under that video, and she said, I made some shirts with hashtag ADOS and put the name American Descendant of Slaves at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Tone, she said, I'm selling these shirts. She said she put the link in the chat or something. And Tone came in there like, we own the name. You don't have the legal right to sell this, so you need to stop. Like he said, like stopped her. So I thought that was funny. I'm like, oh, you're a capitalist now, ain't you?
Yeah, right. He want to control that market.
Exactly. Like you trying to control the market. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you doing? You know, I thought that was funny, but I'm gonna go into these points, man, because this is why I think we shouldn't marry a movement to one group of individuals, because that's dangerous. Look at Black Lives Matter. You think Black Lives Matter is a movement? Black Lives Matter is not grassroots. It's not something that was brought up by the people. It just got famous because it was a hashtag and a bunch of homosexuals. That's what Black Lives Matter is. It's a hashtag, a bunch of homosexuals owned by George Soros, a white Jew. That's what it is. And that shit is grassroots and fake as hell. I mean, it is what it is. That's why when I see Colin Kaepernick getting money to Black Lives Matter, that seemed like a big deal until you really look under the hood and see who these people are. They immigrants, a lot of them. And I'm not knocking immigrants. I'm just saying, they not the immigrants that's on our side. See, a lot of immigrants fuck with us. Some of them don't. When you don't fuck with black people, then we can't fuck with you. Like, that's just how it is. Those are the ones that are pushing.
Right before you hit that point, you know, another moment of clarity here. You know, even in the situations where you got a beef with the police department, right?
Yeah.
What a police is, his job description, how he interacts with the community, who's going to be on the police force, what his job duties is, what he going to do on a daily basis, whether he going to walk the streets, whether he going to knock on doors. All that shit is determined at the local level, man. That's at the local level. You determine who the police is. Now, if you got a community, that's crazy as hell, man. You marching on a police force saying Black Lives Matter, and you the majority in the community, and you got all crackers as police.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that shit, man.
Yeah.
But go ahead, bro.
That's the thing. I just think I want to go through some points so I can understand. And I don't hate this dude. I really don't. But when I say what I'm about to say, I want y'all to understand this speaks volumes as to why you can't marry a movement to one individual. Now, if you marry the movement to me, I'm gonna try to take you straight to economics. That's 90% of what I push. I'm gonna just be real. But this brother, some of the stuff he pushed, I can't rock with like that. So let me go ahead and show y'all specifics. So this is an article by Tone. I talked about the other day. It says what we get wrong about closing the racial wealth gap when white people do what they do and when black people do what they do. So this is the first thing. So rule number one, or myth number one, it says greater educational attainment or more work effort on the part of blacks will close the racial wealth gap. What he's telling you is greater educational attainment. So if you get PhDs in computer engineering and astrophysics, it won't change the black community if we get a bunch of black folks start getting PhDs in computer engineering. Really, I beg to differ. It's what we major in. Now, the data that he got, because I went and read it, the data that he got is more so centered around the fact that even though black people get degrees, they don't make money, and that's real. So hold on, man. Somebody ain't doing what they're supposed to do. Hold on one second. Go ahead, Mitch.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here, man. My bad. I had to go and do something. But
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, so that was the thing. He's just telling people this is why you can't marry the movement to one particular individual because of that. Because I feel like this is a great example of it right here. When you telling people that getting education is key. I'm not a person who's big on education like that. But the right education can make a hell of a difference. If Black people started getting more STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, that will make a great difference because you're talking about a $40,000 difference in salary. So you go from 35 to 75, and you can start really making more money. You can move further. You can do so. If the average person getting out of college, because Black people don't, they spend 2 hours a day. I'm sorry, average Black person spends 30 minutes a day doing homework. White person spends, let's say, I don't know. I think they like an hour, a little over an hour. Hispanics, they about a little bit about 15 minutes more than we do. But when it comes to Asians, they spend 2 hours. That's why they done taken over Silicon Valley. See, white people didn't want to just give up Silicon Valley. Speak to that, Mitch. Do you think they just wanted? You think they went and spent billions of dollars starting Silicon Valley to have Asians and Indians come over there and take this shit over?
No, like you said, I think it's just a slow grind of people being particular, or them ethnic groups being particular in their movement. You know what I mean?
That's it, man. That's it. Adrian, tell me I let my boy get on the mic. No, man, he'll be screaming and acting crazy. But yeah, so that's the thing, man. Like, I don't want to see us fall by the wayside because we adopt certain things. Now, I'm afraid that certain people, and shout out to Edward Anderson because he said it, we need to be careful that we don't let ourselves, somebody gonna get up in Washington. Because see, you gotta understand, we don't control the media per se. And although we have an independent media, it's getting stronger where Black people can start really kind of deactivating a lot of these Trojan horses like Kamala Harris, because we got all the Tariq Nasheed, and Boyce Watkins, and everybody. Like even the little small 300 subscriber YouTubers are making a difference because people are getting 2,000 and 3,000 videos, even though they may have 3,000 views, even though they may have 200 subscribers. But when they talk about certain subjects, it's a lot of people want to watch that shit. And that shit is changing the way people look at it at this day and age. You feel me?
Right. Well, and I guess you was going over some of the comments, or was that Tone Talk?
Yeah, he got an article that he put out.
Yeah, so man, yeah, you got to be real careful, man. Like I said, I had talked to you about this earlier. Whenever the personality shit, man, I mean, it's got to stop. But like you said, whenever you hear, people just generally wanting to disagree with people like Dr. Claude Anderson, I mean, that's a red flag to me. That's all I can say. It's a red flag.
I mean, Dr. Claude is an architect to me. I got mad respect for him, man. I met him. He's a real nice guy. But it ain't even about people being nice or angry. It's just people need to understand, man, that Black people are not in the position to be told shit like this and let people like this be our voice spokesperson. Where you got people saying shit like, well, we need to protect Tone and what's the name at all costs. Like, that's like protect them. Like, all I'm saying is that it's not their movement. It's everybody's movement. It's your movement. It's the people that are listening, the people that are watching. It's our movement. It's not theirs. It's not. Black people have been saying for years. And then I got one thing I get with people that say, oh, you're just getting like this. You're just coming into the know. And they put that shit in quotations like that's some deep shit. I still ain't watched their motherfucking channel. I don't watch their shit. I don't watch it. Sorry. So just because I'm saying what I'm saying on my channel, oh, you're just catching up. You're just waking up. Like I'm a little child or some shit. Like, whatever. That's see, what you're doing is you striking at my ego, making me saying fuck you. And then now we got some ignorant shit going on where we going back and forth, arguing and bickering. Let me say what I'm gonna say if it's not hurting the movement. If I'm gonna say it's not their movement per se, fine. I'll give them credit where it's due. The hashtag is technically theirs, okay? Okay, fine. They created a hashtag. Dr. Claude Anderson was saying this shit in the 90s, man.
Well, what you have to do is when you say their movement, you have to put it in the context. What the fuck is their movement? I mean, again, if you want to couch this shit, man, you're talking about identity politics. Now, is anyone suggesting that Tone Talk and Yvette came up with the concept of identity politics?
No.
Who's saying that crazy shit? Right.
Well, so they're saying, this is what they told me, because I saw a guy specifically say this. He said Tone and Yvette are working with politicians, economists, and professors to make a substantive case. And now, because of their efforts, it's being spoken of on television, in political, presidential candidates are now mentioning reparations because of their efforts.
All right. So what you have to do is keep that in context again. If everybody's saying that the chess move, the reason this is a good chess move is because now white folk are talking about giving blacks reparations. Are you kidding me? That's a pawn move. This ain't the first time white folk have talked about reparations. That's what I'm saying, man. Either motherfuckers is ahistorical, right? Or they done drunk the Kool-Aid. This ain't the first time reparations that came up.
Huh? What stopped it last time?
Well, I mean, first of all, when you got the bill that was in the that they've been pushing, I mean, they just tied up in the committee. And the thing about it, what makes you think they won't tie up anything that ADOS brings in the committee? They'll tie that shit up for 10 years. Now what you gonna do? They'll tie it up in the committee. You could take the reparations part of it out. Pick any one of those 10 items. Pick any one. Read one. And we'll show you. I'm gonna show you how they can tie it up. Pick one.
Okay, so he says that it's a myth that the racial home ownership gap is the driver of the racial wealth gap.
No, that's not saying what. I mean, that's like research. But what do you want from that, right? I mean, pick one of the.
No, what he's saying, I think, with all these bullet points, what he's basically getting to is that there is no answer. Because when we get down, it's gonna get really even more fucked up. But he's saying you have no options. Like, you might as well blow your fucking brains out if the white man don't come and if we don't go and shout and protest and tell people to give us what they owe us, then and they get a heart and be like that lion in the jungle with the damn gazelle in his neck, and he just let the gazelle go because he just feels guilty about what he's doing. That ain't the law of the jungle. Right. That is not the law of the jungle. And black people, your ass is in the jungle, and you gonna hear that shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep making these videos, and y'all can dislike me, talk about me, call me a hater like I want to be in their position, because I don't see what the fuck they getting that I want anyway. What, attention? I don't give a shit about attention. I'm gonna tell your ass the truth, okay? Back when Colin Kaepernick was when that shit was popular and everybody was putting their fists up, buying t-shirts talking about I stand with Colin Kaepernick, I said, who the fuck is this dude? He ain't speaking. He ain't going around saying nothing. Who is he? What does he stand for? Why he got Sports Center and all these white liberals up here speaking for him? Why is he putting memes up and shit instead of coming somewhere like Muhammad Ali, and tell you what he said? See, the reason we love Muhammad Ali is because Muhammad Ali literally sat there and told you, look, I ain't selling my people out. I love my people, and I ain't, damn them white folks, the Viet Cong. He took it on the chin, and he sat there and intellectually debated and looked people in the face and told them what he stood for and why. That's why people love Muhammad Ali. Not for him standing up with his fists in the air and growing a damn afro out.
Well, but
and I told him, me and Michigan did a video back then, and we was talking about tangibles back then. Remember? You remember Michigan? Hello? I don't know what's going on. I guess he out right now. But this is the point, man. Like, we got right here, man. Somebody said something about power numbers is the foundation. Say again? Anyway, he said power numbers is the foundation. It should be one of the cornerstones of the Black Family Code of Conduct. It is the mechanism to hold political mofos accountable, even to replace them. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Right here it says, Wilson and Anderson laid out the blueprint. Tone and Yvette don't want to work and have no stomach to fight. I'm not saying they don't want to work. I'm not shitting on them because we need them. I just say we need everybody. We need Tariq Nasheed too. I don't like some of the stuff Tariq Nasheed do or say. I'm not saying that. Everybody needs to be on board. We don't need no one person. This is my movement. As soon as somebody stand up and start patting themselves on the back, y'all should shout their ass down. We need to grow like politically over the years as a people to understand we seen this shit before. This shit ain't nothing but a rerun. You ought to know by now that this is a rerun and we going down the same damn path we went down when Martin Luther King died. And then Jesse Jackson kind of was trying to take that helm, and what happened? They co-opted his ass. People get co-opted when they call themselves leaders. Whenever you put someone in front of a movement, they have a very strong propensity to be co-opted, because that's what I would do. I would just have your ass sit down and say, man, what can I do to get you straight? You know what I'm saying? You better exactly. You better fight and argue with Dr. Boyce Watkins over a couple of $100. Can damn sure be bought. They can be bought.
Well, that's why you have interest groups like what the ADOS. When you talk about the bullet points, you should have people who operate in that field, like in business, people who are actively engaged in business. That's who puts together the business agenda. People who deal with education. Yeah, you don't have no one motherfucker putting together no agenda, particularly if they're not an expert in any field. That's a key. I got one person putting together an agenda that runs across industries, business, schooling, family, health. Huh? You need experts in those particular fields, man.
But he telling you that shit don't work. That's what he literally telling you. Like you guys got to understand who you're getting behind. Because I'm gonna just run down this shit real fast. I'm not gonna try to read it and discuss every bullet point, because I did that in the last hangout. He said home ownership. I'm gonna get to number 3. Buying, and he said buying and banking. Last time I talked about the banking, he said buying and banking black will close the wealth gap. It's basically a myth. So he's telling you that if you buy black, if black people was to circulate their dollars,
man, that's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Black banks, it ain't gonna help us.
Man, that's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Think about that shit, man.
That's crazy as fuck.
That's suicide. That's suicide, bro.
You know what? One question that shuts that down. Ask him to define what wealth is. That kills it. Because you got to either be talking about a tangible resource, what's wealth, or the ability to organize tangible resources. So other than that, what the fuck is wealth, man? So all of those a bank plays a part in wealth development. Home ownership plays a part in wealth development, wealth maintenance. That's what your institutions are for. I mean, that's just crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's why you don't, if that's not your lane, man, stay out of it. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
But see, a brother will look at the average net worth of African Americans and tell them that, like one of his subscribers last week literally told me, or the other day, literally told me that the average ADOS, basically average black person, American-born descendant of slaves, cannot afford one share of stock. This is how financially ignorant these people are that's y'all trying to lead. I'm like, they don't understand that you can buy stocks for pennies. You never heard of penny stock investing? You never heard of you know what I'm saying? Let me keep going, because I don't want to dwell on these bullet points too long. Number 4, brother says, this is a good one. Black people saving more will not close the racial wealth gap. Basically saying it won't. That's a myth. It won't close the racial wealth gap. So if black people were to max out their 401ks and get life insurance, it won't close the racial wealth gap. That shit is dangerous.
Yeah,
there's no other way to look at that.
I don't mean that. I'm trying to find the logic behind even to bag him up. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of shit that to say That's a damn good point. I can't think of none.
But not only is it not a good point, I can't even repeat or regurgitate the sentence.
It's not
That, and
sound.
I can try to go into this. What he's saying is what he's looking at is he's trying to say black people save at the same rate that whites do, which is and there was an article that he cited, and it was an article by a company called Ariel Investments, and it was called the Ariel Hewitt study. And it was a study that basically showed the average amount that African Americans have in their 401k. And white people led the way. Asians were second. Asians didn't drop off until black people got north of 200,000. Then Asians became third. And that's usually probably because Asians got their money invested in a damn chicken spot or a damn beauty supply or some shit.
Right, the business. Well, that's real talk.
Yeah, so they probably didn't hit. Yeah, on you. By the time they get up.
Are you suggesting that business is not wealth? I mean, a component of building wealth?
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna tell you what number 5 is. This is how you know this is some crazy shit. If number 5 don't fuck you up and tell you, okay, you can't marry this movement to one group of individuals. Because if anybody think like this, damn it, I'm damn near ready to go fight. I'm ready to hit your ass. If I hear you say some shit like this, I'm ready to fight. Like real talk. Like we might go to blows if you repeat this shit out in open to me. And number 5 is greater financial literacy will not close the racial wealth gap. So if I tell black people to become financially literate and teach them how to, budget, live on a budget, live on less than they make, to pay off all their debts, to try to go to college without coming out with student loans, find ways, just being more economical, financial literacy, right? Buying cars that you under $15,000, buying a car that's only 10% of your take home in a car note, having a mortgage that's 25% of your take home in a mortgage. That's financial literacy. See what I'm saying? Having 55% of your money for discretionary income that make it easy for you to save now because your bills are low.
Bro, it's simple. What somebody has to ask him is, please define what wealth is to ADOS. That's it. And you'll see define what wealth means from ADOS perspective. And
that's the thing. That's the thing, man.
Yeah, what's the definition of wealth?
That's it. I heard a wealthy guy say
if property and wealth. I mean, what the fuck? If business ownership ain't wealth, I mean, what is it?
Shit, I don't know. He's telling us that if we try to go after those things, it won't fix it. It's not that we can't win. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming that's what he's saying. But he got to be saying we can't win because shit, if you win, you're gonna close the gap.
Okay. Hey, reverse engineer. The government reform. That's why I asked you what's one of the planks, what's one of the types of government reform that they're after. From what I understood, one of them was you want a specific designation for ADOS aside from minority, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now here you go. So what is the purpose of that? The purpose of that is so that ADOS members can take advantage of opportunities that would be afforded to just a general minority. Okay, what are those opportunities? Business, contracts. If you want a contract, that means you got to be in motherfucking business, right?
Yeah.
If you want privileges as it relates to banking, that means you got to have banks. So that shows you that a bank is a part of wealth development or wealth maintenance. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck, man? I mean,
this shit is almost laughable, dude. Like, who the fuck listens to this?
These niggas playing checkers. Who's that?
This shit don't make no sense.
In training day, right? In training day.
This chess, it ain't checkers. Like,
you motherfuckers playing checkers.
Like, what the hell?
What's another one? What's another?
This is all right. Number 6, he says, and here comes another doozy. Entrepreneurship would not close the racial wealth gap.
Man, that's crazy as fuck, man.
So if you start a business, starting businesses won't close the racial wealth gap. Okay, so black people do not have any right now. We got like the lowest. I think we can send every black person, or if we took the revenue, gross sales revenue of every black business in the country, they can send every black person $4,000.
You know what it
Every
sounds
white.
like? It almost sounds like a motherfucker saying, hey, the only way to close the wealth gap is to take an eraser and erase what it say on the paper and change the numbers. And that's the answer. I mean, it's almost childish, man. What are you going to do? Just take an eraser and change the numbers?
I mean, but you got to have economic infrastructure, and part of that is business. Shit, 90% of that is businesses.
That's what I'm talking.
But look, in 9/11, when the economy was wobbly, they say that the strength of the American economy, when they attacked Wall Street and they dropped the damn World Trade Center, they said it was the small business that kept it strong. It has a wide base of small businesses that keeps it strong. The black community does not have a wide, but we have them. See, I'm not shook like that. There's a bunch of black folks out there kicking ass, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Because I had somebody come in my comment section and tell me, I'm gonna go and say this shit. One of his subscribers said to me, "You stupid, you don't know what you're talking about." And then he turned around and said, what is it? He said the average African American makes $40,000 a year. He said literally half of that income comes from athletes. What? That's what he said. I said, dude, wait a minute. I said, hold on. Okay, so if the average African American makes $40,000 a year, let's say we got those of working age, let's say it's about 65, 70%. So let's say 7 times 48, whatever that is. Just for easy, let's say 35 million. So let's say it was 50 million. Because it's 47.4 right now. It's moved up as of 2017. So 47.4, we're gonna round that out to 35 million adults that's of working age. 35 million, take half of that 17 million. I did the math, I think it came out. I did the math the other day, I think it was either half or 44 million or something. I took whatever it was, it came out to be like $940 billion. He said half of that comes from the athletes. So I went and I said, okay, can the athletes generate $940 billion of income? If you add up all the athletes, and Edwin Anderson, shout out to him, he was in the comment section the other day. He did the math. He said that shit come to like 4.5 billion. That's just for the salaries. So where's the other $900 billion coming from? People don't even understand how math works. When you start talking about half of the average income comes from athletes for African Americans of the ADOSs, what you're really saying is half that athletes make $940 billion, almost $1 trillion in income. They don't. They're not even close.
Well, see, even if that was the case, which is not, even if that was the case, the point of the matter is whether or not you're going to build wealth has to do with how sophisticated the institutions at the local level, how sophisticated they are at organizing what you already have. So even if you use that statistic, you still got to talk about, well, how do you organize that amount of money? Well, that's done through banks, through businesses, through hedge funds, through blacks investing specifically in black banks, black hedge funds, and then that being returned back into the community through investments. So, I mean, you still can't get around, what we're talking about of having that infrastructure in place. You can't get around it. You can't get around that shit, man.
You can't. And shout out to James Earl Mosley. He had a damn good point. He said it all boils down to them attempting to force their socialistic philosophy in a capitalistic economy while wrapped in ADOS.
Right. Damn good point.
I mean, you ain't look. It's like a fish trying to jump around on the side of the boat. No, you're gonna have to get in the water, man. That's what you made for. We're surrounded by capitalism.
Man, these are stone, man. These crackers are stone cold capitalists. They gonna eat your ass alive with that socialist shit, man.
They are.
They eat you alive, man. We'll get eaten alive trying to be a socialist in America. They eat you alive.
Let me see number 7. He said, I'm sorry, not emasculating. Emulating successful minorities will close the racial wealth gap. So he's saying that if we try to do what minorities do, that won't help us. So, like I said earlier, the reason Asians are taking over and have taken over Silicon Valley is because they focus on STEM. They focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Right.
Thereby, they taken over Silicon. They done took that bitch over. Indians and Asians, they done took it over. What do they do different than black folks? They spend 3 hours on average a night studying, 2 to 3 hours a night. We spend 30 minutes. You can't do math in 30 minutes, so you're not going to major in math when you go to college. Whereas they do 3 hours, they can do math. So they go to college and they look at what pays the most. And that's why so just on that alone, let's say they went and got reparations and said, okay, free education, right? Let's just say that, and that would be free education and no taxes, no income tax. That would be fantastic to me. I would love that shit.
That's a good one. Yes, sir.
I would love that shit. At least give us about 20 years of that shit. That should be great. But anyway, the thing that would get me about that is this. If you coming in and you join and majoring in psychology and sociology, because you're not dealing with the other aspect of it, which is black people I hate to say it, culturally, we got some shit we got to fix. And that's basically what we're getting. We got to fix some shit. You go, look, if they can come and give us a check, they'll fuck us up. They give us a check, we'll go out here and squander that shit, going to school majoring in dumb shit. And we will cheapen what it means to have a college degree. That's all that'll happen. It won't benefit us. If you say, you know what, I'm going to medical school because I know a plastic surgeon makes $450,000 a year on average. And so I'm going to go medical school. I'm going to really make their ass pay for this. Or I'm going to go and be a computer engineer. And I'm going to bust my ass and get my education, do what I got to do. And I'm going to get out and I'm going to go work in Silicon Valley. I'm going to start my own tech firm, consulting firm. Like this young brother out of Ohio, I forget his name. He was like 15 years old with his own tech firm, recruiting. He would recruit and place people in the tech industry. He wasn't number 15 years old. That brother worth millions. See what I'm saying? Little young black kid, ADOS.
Is that the last one, man? Hurry up and get through the rest of that shit.
Okay, bet. Number 8, he said, improved soft skills and personal responsibility will not close the racial wealth gap. Basically, if you take responsibility for your own actions, that shit ain't gonna help you. It ain't gonna help you.
Man, what the fuck? Man. Hey.
See, most people don't know that this is what these people believe that you call leaders. They literally say it. He's bold enough, he's confident enough to actually type this shit out and put it out like he know he right. Come on, man. That's a problem. You see what I'm saying? Number 9, and I agree with this shit 1,000% what he said right here. He said the growing number of black celebrities prove that the racial wealth gap is closing. Of course not. Nobody believes. I don't believe. Do you believe that? Michigan? Is he there? He done blinked off again. Okay. Somebody probably called him. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that just because we have a growing number of black athletes that our racial wealth gap is closing. No, that's some dumb shit. So that's a good one. Number 10 is a doozy. It's a real doozy. Number 10 says, black family disorganization is the cause of the racial wealth gap. So basically what he's saying is, and he got a picture up here with a dude playing with his baby. What he's basically saying is putting black fathers back into the homes won't help close the racial wealth gap. So you got to think now, basically getting rid of all these single moms and bringing black people, bringing the father back into the home won't help the racial wealth gap. Really?
But see, that's what I'm saying, man. That's the checker side of that shit. But here's what: if you do have 2 parents in the home, now particularly you may be talking about 2 incomes. So now you're talking about double the amount of money in one household. Now, is he suggesting that doesn't help to create wealth?
Yeah, because when you start talking about household income, you literally would push us way up the damn ladder then. I think the average household income is like...
If you look at the statistics, you look at the statistics of what individuals and groups have in common that have built wealth. I guarantee you, 2-parent households are going to be a part of that matrix.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm looking at it by rates right now in the U.S. I'm gonna look that up.
all right,
This is
man. I got a
household income.
few more minutes, man, of this bullshit.
I got
Go
you.
ahead.
I got you. Okay, African Americans. We are. Damn, we way down the list, bro.
Hey, you still
We not
there?
even. We like. Hold on. We are 40 Arab, Ethiopian. Yeah, I don't even see us, man. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna put it like this: we will go way up to the near the top. The Indian
Right.
Americans, damn, they just shot up to 120,000 on average in household income. African Americans are down below 60. I know we are. So we would damn near jump up to like $80,000, $90,000 of average household income. That should have fixed a whole lot of shit. We would be way out of poverty then, way out of poverty. Because you got to understand, most of our numbers that people look at compared to white people are because we got a substantial amount of single family homes. So that's why they look at our numbers like they do. So I'm gonna go ahead and let my boy go. I know he done jumped off. If he jumped back on here, cool. But I just want y'all to know, be careful who you follow, be careful who you adhere to, what you listen to. Once again, I'm gonna say this at the end because I'm gonna get cussed out in this video. It is what it is. But I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna keep saying it. Ain't nobody gonna change who the fuck I am, so I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Black people, we need Yvette and Tone for certain because they popularized the movement as well. But someone who thinks like that is dangerous. Do we really want a person like that shaping our policy? Because if they had a choice, what could we get? If you had somebody say, okay, I'm gonna go for if a presidential candidate said, okay, we're gonna try to push what you want. Who you want shaping the policy? I don't want them shaping the policy. That's all that is. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Mitch.
No, yeah, that's a good. That's really what it boils down to. And it's not that you're hating on them as individuals. In my opinion, if you were going to talk about business policy, I certainly wouldn't have them at the table, right? If you were going to talk about shaping education policy, shit, I wouldn't have them at the table. I mean, just based off what I'm hearing, I really, from what I've heard, I can't really think of any table that I would put them at. I'm just being honest now.
I mean, that's it. I mean, and Lima, shout out to Lima. Lima, one of my students, she just got here. She's saying that they address look, that's why I said we need them. I just said this thing. I said we do need them in the movement to popularize the issues that they are talking about because there is a racial wealth gap. That's not what it's almost like that's a straw man. Nobody's saying there isn't. Nobody says that there isn't a racial wealth gap. Nobody says that we coming out of college and getting the same type of jobs and nobody says that. We are fucked up in the game. Nobody will disagree with that. We're talking about the solution, what the answer is. And when you tell black people financial literacy won't help them, shit.
That's crazy.
I damn near want to hit your ass in the mouth. That's just real. DeVito, no, late 30s is not too late. Email me sub0369@gmail.com. I can get you in the class. I just started the class today. In Lima, I'm gonna want you to come speak at this next class, sister. I want you to speak Monday night, if you don't mind. You know, I had Mark in the other day. I forgot to ask you, but you got anything else you want to say, Michigan?
No, I'm good, man. I appreciate you. Good chatting with you.
Hold on. Who is this think tank?
This going out in the ethers now, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you go ahead. I just want to see, dude, what you talking about? I bit off your handle. What you talking about? Be original. Think tank. Okay, I don't know what the hell he talking about. Somebody talking about I'm biting their handle. I don't know if he's trying to be funny. I don't know. But anyway,
yeah.
Y'all thank y'all for listening, man. Shout out Michigan. I'm glad to have you, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
I've been trying to get on here about 4 times.
I think let me say this in closing, man. Like I said when I opened up, I think the concept of ADOS is good. I think it's actually good timing. You know what I mean? It's good timing. It's got a little wave to it. Behind Barack Obama's silly ass. So, I just think how you organize the policies. That's basically what we're talking about. It's not hating on Yvette. I actually listen to her. I listen to Tone. But when you're talking about, getting at the round table, bring in the experts in those particular fields to help you, kind of iron out a good agenda. Don't assume you know everything, and I think that's where they're making a big mistake. And then you have the people who just getting involved in the politics, kind of egging them on and drinking the Kool-Aid, and that's what kind of feed into black folks' ego. And clearly they got some big ass egos. If they believe that they, are spearheading, this is the first time we're talking about identity politics, and particularly about singling out blacks and making sure we get something specific. This shit is not new, family. This shit ain't new. And they're not the founders of that. So it's all good. We'll be all right.
That's it, man. And think tank, I get you, bro. No harm intended, bro. We good. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read a couple of comments, man. You can catch out if you want. All right. So what is it? Caducey, I'm assuming, says if we homeschool, that means less ADOS in public schools and more white teachers laid off. Good point.
That's a good point.
It says keep the debate going. That's how we shape things, slowly chipping away. You're right. I think we get stronger mentally. Right. We need like this shit need to be, everything needs to be vetted. Kick the tires.
Right.
Everything. Right. Don't just follow the movement. When black folks say somebody a coon, you ask why. Good point. Before we get this going, man. So is somebody calling you?
Who, me?
Oh shit. That's me, my bad. So this is a good point right here. Remember we talked about Dr. Claude Anderson a couple of weeks ago. Dr. Claude Anderson said that Trump invited him to the White House. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be real with you. I would love to see Trump and Dr. Claude sit down because, and I know people saying fuck, what's her name, Ann Coulter and all this shit. Whether Ann Coulter hate our guts and don't like our ass or not, damn man, I think it's good for black people. I think it's good for black people to have somebody go in there and shake. Because what's happening now, if Trump get that political football and that shit get into the presidential debates and shit like that, if both sides are saying it, this shit gonna happen.
Well, it's politics, man.
Something's coming our way. So I want to see Trump get into that.
Right. No permanent enemies, no permanent friends. It's politics. He should go talk to him.
Yeah. But see, we so quick to say, hey man, don't even go there. Damn, man. My bad. They calling me and putting me in this class. But hold on. My bad. Sorry. Damn, what they doing? I'm sorry, bro. You there, Mr.?
Yeah, man. We're good.
Damn, I don't know how that happened. Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing, man. Stop calling folks coons every time somebody say they'll talk to Trump about some shit. Because at the end of the day, motherfuckers went coon, but they was up there partying with Obama. Motherfuckers getting shot every weekend. Somebody getting shot, choked, killed, and them niggas up in the White House having parties. But they wasn't coons though. See what I'm saying? Like, no, we can't marry ourselves to one side no more. I'm not saying that Trump love black folks, but I'm just as indifferent to Trump as I am to Obama, as I am to Ann Coulter. I'm glad to see Ann Coulter. She's been saying that shit for years about black folks deserve reparations. Years. So let black folks do not, y'all excuse me, black people do not need to be married to one particular side. We just don't. We can't afford that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. She'll look an Indian, a homosexual, Asian, Cuban, anybody in the face and say, I'm sorry, you don't deserve reparations. You don't deserve any type of rights. The only people we've actually targeted in this country are black people. Those are the only, she done said that shit a bunch of times. And that shit was, I was like, if that shit get popular and black people really get behind that, that's cool. And I heard Tariq the other day went at her like, oh, she trying to co-opt it. That's just a strat. No. And Coulter fuck around and get that shit. I would do I would embrace her. I ain't saying you gotta love her. I ain't saying you gotta agree with everything she say, but I damn sure with love that, because she can take your shit now. You fuck around, be on Fox News, CNN, all them got to fuck with you then. And them presidents, that's the way that shit work. Them presidents and all those presidential candidates and shit, they would have to get into that conversation because you having heated discussions about reparations that we've never seen before. And I'm sorry, I think in this side, it does help to play people. Like we got to play and use people like they use us. Use her ass. Use her. She's not going to co-opt shit. She ain't finna be the leader of it. We know that. She is not like she's going to co-opt the movement and take it over. I would use her, and I damn sure would use Trump. When Trump got in the White House and put out that 10-point bullet plan some years ago, do you understand we never saw some shit like that coming from Obama? He never even said the word black. So that's why I wanted him in there, because shit done got shook up with him in there. And the establishment Republicans don't like him. The Democrats don't like him. That's what we want shit. We want shit uneven and wobbly so that we probably could jump our ass up in there and get in the game. Because now he like, well, shit, I might lose the rednecks who hate niggas, but I might fuck with the black folks and get that 35% that I was gonna lose. Whatever. He get a 30-40% block of us voting, because a lot of niggas just lost. They ain't gonna ever vote Republican. But you get a 35-40% block of black people voting another way, and you destabilize that shit. And then you got other people pushing on other avenues. That's why I'm not against Tone and Yvette going and doing what they're doing. I just don't want them trying to shun other people and kicking them out the movement and telling them that they don't have the right to latch on to ADOS as well. It's not yours. Just let anybody. I will let anybody jump in. If you want to give me credit, fine, but it ain't about that. It's about the people. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm trying to say, man. Like, and of course, them damn 10 bullet points, that shit is crazy. I don't believe nobody should believe that. You believe that, stay away from me. You don't believe black businesses and buying black and rotating our dollars in our community is good, then I ain't got nothing to say to your ass. I ain't got nothing to say to you because you don't care and love about it. You can't love black people. That's why I can't put them in front. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. So that's about it, man. And y'all want me to put the link in the chat for a few minutes? I'll put it in there if one of y'all want to jump on and say a few words before I get out of here. There's the link. If anybody want to get in and say a few things and set it off a little bit. But, we need to be careful what we adopt. You know what I'm saying? We really do. And I think black people will benefit from a conservative swing. I do. I think that should benefit. Well, first of all, because even lower taxes, like if you're trying to start a business, right? Lower barrier of entry has always been a friend of black people. It just has. Like, I don't even go into these points with people because there's a lot of staunch socialists in the black community, and they call you coon and Uncle Tom as soon as you start talking like this. But if a black person has $4,000 and they want to start a business, and you have a large government entity standing in the way, which I've seen this before. Me and my brother wanted to start a mobile car wash, not a mobile car wash, but we wanted to start a truck washing service about 7 years ago. What's up, brother? And we wanted to start a truck washing service 7 years ago. And what happened was this brother, my brother wanted to do things right, so we only had about between us, we had like $7,000. And but by the time we bought the equipment and did everything, it was gonna be about 6. So we thought we had enough. We went to the TA truck stop. We talked to the TA truck stop and we asked them, we was like, can we do it? And the lady was like, yeah. And so my brother made a mistake and called the damn EPA, which was, I'm like, why do you call it Environmental Protection? It ain't got nothing to do with this. Well, lo and behold, the dude was like, well, yeah, the chemicals that you guys will be using is acidic and it's going to hurt the environment. You can't go in the sewer. You need to trap all your water. So we went and had to look at this damn filtration system for washing trucks. And I done seen 50 million folks in their backyard with them same chemicals washing their cars, running that shit right down in the sewer. But because we was talking about cleaning trucks, he was telling us that we couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? Well, we didn't do it. This happens all the time in the black community. Big government, and we think it's good. Big government a lot of times will give you, like if you understand the principles of Machiavelli, Niccolo Machiavelli, what he was saying was, you never give somebody something that's going to empower them. You only give them enough to keep them loyal. So you give them $700 a month instead of $7,000 a month. $7,000 a month, you might mess around and empower them. They'll get good credit, good tax returns. Next thing you know, they don't need you. You give somebody $700 a month, all they can do is pay. They might be able to pay their rent, and that's it. But they're gonna always vote with you. They're gonna always be loyal to you because you gave them that $700 to $1,000. And that's how politics works. That's the game that get played on black folks. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm from the other chat where we over there in O'Shea. Man, look at a lot of things you're saying is absolutely on point. You hear me? And some President Barack Obama done. Look here, I think he sold us out so many different ways it wasn't even funny. I used to give him some leeway until I sit down and really thought about something he done. Look, he sat down there and with the stroke of a pen under his administration, he gave a lot of rights out to homosexuals. But yet with the stroke of a pen, he didn't do it. He didn't give us adults a lot of rights.
No, he didn't.
As a matter of fact, say what? I'm sorry, say it again.
I say he didn't. He didn't.
And look at, as a matter of fact, whenever that Trayvon Martin situation, which reminds me of something, whenever that Trayvon Martin situation happened, and he come out and said that could have that child could have been what I could have had a son like that child. The moment Fox News and those the moment Fox News got on him, he started shutting up. He didn't hardly say nothing else concerning that matter or the injustices that a lot of adults have suffered and still do suffer. Albeit a lot of it low key, it still suffer here in America. So that's why. And when he come out and talk about this, I've evolved to think that homosexual man, it's okay for a man to marry a man and a woman to marry a woman. I'm like, man, really? Hey, look at
him, man.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not a fan of Bathhouse Barry. I'm just not. Like I don't go there with Obama like that with black folks, man. But I was sick on my stomach whenever you had 2012 and I scroll through my Facebook timeline and I see pictures of Barack and Michelle and with the kids and everybody look at my president and my president this and my president. I'm like, this nigga ain't said nothing about y'all in 4 years. This nigga ain't done nothing. This nigga ain't proposed nothing. This nigga sat there and forced something down the line. And I never forget, I was in a barbershop and I almost got in a fight with a brother. And they had to hold me back because I told this nigga, I said, watch Barack Obama switch on gay marriage the week he gets in the office. The nigga said, nah, he ain't. He against reparations. I said, he said, he against gay marriage. I said, Barack finna get in there and he finna switch. I said, the nigga already got a gay lover in Chicago that got shot right the week he came out for president. Then the other dude turned up dead too. And the other white dude, he said the only reason he ain't dead because he out here telling folks that they might kill him. He said, because they would have killed him too. Sure enough, motherfucker got in there in about a month. The first month of January 2013, Barack switches, the first gay president to cover Newsweek. Y'all remember? That's some real shit. Because the nigga was gay any day. He gay any damn way. I'm sorry. He is. And that's the problem I have with it. Like, black folk, we gullible as hell. When it comes to this dude in politics, I would be glad we need to stop being married to one party.
Yeah.
But I'm become married to interests and principles, like these brothers are saying in the chat. Principles and interests. What do we want? What does that look like? What will make an environment conducive for that to spawn what I'm looking for? If I want business, I want a pro-business environment. That means low taxes. That means opportunity. I'm not for the little guy. It may, you know what I'm saying? And when you start talking about corporate welfare, that's a different scenario. See what I'm saying? I'm not talking about that.
Okay, look, can I chime in a little bit more on that? About
yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you what. Now, as far as him being a homosexual and all that I don't know. I only judge by what I do know and what he did say. And look, what struck me so doggone. what got me about it is the fact that he said, it seemed like, if I'm not mistaken, he was in his last year or last 2 years of his second term. So I'm thinking, why in the world he sit there and have to say that then? Then somebody kind of explained it to me. Look, it was no more than another political stunt he did to sit there and try to issue in Hillary Clinton, keep a Democrat in that office, which didn't work. But I mean, look here, he just sold us, and look here, he sold us out too many ways, and it don't even make sense. And anytime I see a lot of people with Barack Obama picture on their computers and pictures on their wall, I'm thinking they just made a god out of this dude.
Yeah, I hate to see T-shirts and posters and paintings when I go in folks' houses with him and Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X and Sojourner Truth and Frederick Douglass and Barack Obama. Get up out of here, man.
I'm saying.
I'll be upset when I see stuff like that. Like, black folks, man, y'all dumb, man. Like, I'm sorry, like, and I'm not saying that I really believe that, but I'm just saying. And Lima, let me say this, Lima. You are a shining example that stuff in those 10 points that I broke, those myths are not true. You just are. And to tell black people that, number one, greater educational attainment will not close the racial wealth gap, you're an example of that. You just are. Feel free to click the link and join. I'm not saying that Tone isn't right when he goes and looks at the numbers. The numbers are what the numbers are. What we're talking about is strategy. What will work to get us out of our current and present situation. But if you want to look at Dr. Darity's work, fine. Yeah, Dr. Darity, they can show you black people this. Like, you can find information to say what you want to say. If you want to talk about, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to say some real shit that black folks ain't going to like, but I'm going to say it. Black people do disproportionately commit crimes in a lot of instances. If you want to say, do we commit 13% of the crimes or 14%, as they say? If we don't commit 14% and we commit 20% and 25%, then, and we are only 14% of the population, then we are disproportionately committing the crimes. But this is one thing I always look at with law enforcement. Law enforcement is more focused in poor black communities. So thereby you're going to get more poor black arrests. So our numbers will be skewed. Whereas in rural rural Georgia, rural counties where you got one state trooper, you're not going to get away with that. That's why the meth situation is such a big thing. And now they're like, oh my God, we need intervention. We need to intervene and help these people, because they were so much focusing their 600,000 law enforcement into black communities. That's why we have higher arrests. We don't just have higher arrests because we're more likely to commit the crime. We have higher arrests because if you put 40 cops in a black neighborhood, they're going to get, like, good example, Ferguson, Missouri. Ferguson, Missouri is a great example because they put all those cops in those black communities, and those cops got thousands of arrests, and people had $8,000, $9,000 worth of tickets. I'm one of them. I'm from Montgomery, 70% black. I had $14,000 worth of tickets I had to pay. One cop stopped me in my neighborhood 3 times and wrote off 2 and 3 tickets every time he saw me. He was waiting on me at my neighborhood and this is over like 2 years. That same cop pulled me over. I knew his badge and I knew his name. He wrote me 9 tickets. And they say he came to court because I ain't go to court that last time, which is why it went up that much, because each driving while suspended was $1,000. This is the type of stuff that happens. So yeah, you can say, well, we disproportionately commit crime, but there's a rhyme and a reason to it. But when I hear people say, no, that's not true, that's because people making the numbers fit what they want them to say. Black people need to be truthful. Yeah, we do, but there's a reason. You focus your energy on arresting more people, you will find, if you want to go into black, like a cop can be told by his lieutenant, we need more tickets. Go into the black community and sit and hide and catch people coming down hills. We need more people to go to jail. They'll be searching cars and bringing out the dogs. And yeah, you can catch as many people as you want, or you can go in a white community on a white college campus and you get a ton of drugs on a white college campus, but they don't put the police over there. They don't do that. So that's why the numbers look like they do. You know, anything else, brother?
Yeah, let me speak to 2 more points. One we talked about earlier, talking about not needing leaders. I agree with that. Now I don't know how anybody else feel about it, but look here, I'm a follower of the Most High and believe in the Most High. And let me tell you something in the Bible that happened when Jesus and Barabbas was down there finna get chosen. Which one gonna get chosen to get crucified? Guess who? Guess who egged the crowd on? And it said, and the leader of the Jews egg. It didn't use the word egg the crowd on, but they kind of boosted the crowd up to choose Barabbas over Jesus. It said the leaders. That goes to show you how much we ought to be looking into leaders. Because
it comes to leaders. That's what I'm saying. A movement. We need to raise the consciousness of Black people. I'm not trying to get into Black spirituality and stuff like, because I'm a believer like you, but what I'm saying is I'm not trying to get, when it comes to that, Black folks get real fragmented and splintered, and we go off on tangents. I think right now we can more so focus on principles that we can all agree on. I can sit down with a Muslim and agree with probably about 75, 80% of what they want politically. I ain't with no Sharia law, but I don't want to see, it's certain things I don't want to see, just like they don't want. They don't want abortion. We don't want abortion. It's a lot of things we can agree on. They don't want gay marriage. I don't want gay marriage. They want to be freedom to operate their businesses and do what they want to do. So do I. So a lot of things we can agree on, just like I can agree with the white supremacists on a lot of stuff. I don't have to agree that you think I'm less than you and I'm a monkey. I don't care. What can we agree on? I don't have to prove to you I'm smart. Let's just come to the table and negotiate, just like Marcus Garvey did, just like Elijah Muhammad did. You know, people put your emotions, shut your emotions off, and what's best for you. And that's what we need to do with Trump. Because right now, this is an opportunity to me. I look at Trump as an opportunity for Black people to get something sent our way, especially with this ADOS movement, because Ann Coulter loves Trump. Her and Trump are very tight. And she's been saying this for years.
Yep.
So y'all got to understand, this is a great opportunity for us, man. And I think it's about to happen. And like I said, I don't hate Tone. I just disagree with when you tell Black folks that learning about money ain't gonna help them. That's like telling me that food ain't, I don't need food to survive or water to survive. Like, come on, man, I need water. You tell me I don't need water and nutrients, and come on, man, how I'm gonna survive? You don't need oxygen? What are you talking about?
Hey, can I jump in there with just a little example of what you just said?
Yeah, go ahead. This is my last point, but go ahead. I'm about to head out, man. I'm about to go out. Go ahead.
I got some. Look here. It's not that he's saying we don't need food to live. What he's saying is you don't have to eat good food in order to get healthy. That's the art when he say we don't need to learn about money, good business sense. That's equivalent what he's saying. Look, y'all don't have to worry about eating better food to get healthy, because if you eat better food, you're not going to get healthy. That dude, I don't know who wrote that, but that was a straight idiot. You hear me?
That's Tone Talks. That's the dude that they claiming that started the movement, and it's his movement. And him and Yvette have worked with college professors and economists and politicians to build, quote unquote, this movement. So, you know, it is what it is. So look, I have no problem with those people like that. You good, Jonathan? You could have jumped in for a second, but you know, I just wanted y'all to know that I appreciate y'all coming and listen to me, hearing me out. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. I agree. We do need to vet coons, but we need to also be careful and quit screaming coon every time somebody meet with the president, or every time somebody says something that may be counterintuitive. Because what was my homeboy Michigan saying a second ago? He's saying they playing chess, we playing checkers. When you play chess, you do setup moves. When I played basketball, I would come down and I'll take the ball. I might do an in and out with my right hand and stomp to the right like I'm finna go hard right, and then throw it back to my left and explode left. That's a setup move. You thought I was going right, but I'm going left. When it comes to politics, a lot of times people do setup moves in politics. They'll come down and say, okay, I support reparations, right? That's what these Democrats telling us right now, a couple of Democratic presidential candidates. What they'll do is they'll reach out to Tone and Yvette because they're staunch socialists, and they'll tell them, since you believe that the government is the answer, this is what I'm going to do, only if you get me in. Then they get in and Trump ass out of there, and they tell Yvette and Tone, I'll screw you. Now what? You know, Ben, well, this ain't gonna work. But now you might lose momentum. That's what happened to the Tea Party. Tea Party put one or two people in there and they got bought out. Just being straight up. That's what happened. They got co-opted. She talked about that. That's what can happen to her because she believes in government. But when you got a holistic approach, you can hit that shit from top down and you can hit it from every angle because it's holistic. And there's enough resources in our community to do that if we focus those communities. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yes, I definitely agree with you about Yvette Carnell basically being a shill of socialism, because socialism, it seemed like Black people has been conditioned, brainwashed to the root and T of not getting money, but so quote unquote everybody's supposed to be about getting money. That's, I don't know, that's the weird ad nauseum about with certain Black folks, because with Yvette Carnell, she really treat Black people like they're mentally retarded. And the Black people that actually have a business plan, a mission statement, and actually have access to capital, credit, she basically denounced him as being a sellout, a traitor, or you did something scrupulous to be able to get the funds. It amazes me with Tone Talks. Like, Tone Talks really with my big issue was with the Jay Morrison thing. When he had a legitimate investment vehicle, he tried to act like he knew SEC law, like he was a securities lawyer. But because yes, we do have the access to resources in our own community. A lot of people don't understand tax deeds, which tax deeds is like the easiest way how to be able to get in real estate. And there's so many opportunities.
Literally sent Gunna Dance, I think, not Gunna Dance, one of my subscribers, the lady's phone number in Montgomery, Alabama. You call that lady, she'll give you a lot in the hood of Montgomery, Alabama for $500.
That's
I'm telling you what I know for a fact. And I called the company and tell you what I did. Because I tested, when I got a number, I called this company to ask a question. I said, look, I bought some tax properties some years ago, and I got the deed. It's free and clear. I ran the quiet title process and got the deed cleared up all the way. It's not cloudy. It's clear. Fee simple title. I got these properties appraised. They're appraising at $12,000 to $10,000 a piece. I got about 7 of them. Now this was years ago. Not talking about now. And she told me, and I said, "Can I use these as collateral?" They said, "Yeah, you can use them as collateral." This was years ago.
That's a powerful play.
I don't know call those loans. I think it's called something. Branch loans, something. It's called branch loans or something. But you can take $5,000-$6,000, get that junk appraised for. You might get it. See, the problem is you don't even have to do quiet title, because when you go through a land bank, that property's yours, fee simple, free and clear, no mortgage. So this is financial intelligence that you telling us to stay away from.
Yeah, that sounds like a shill to me, because really they hide everything all in the paperwork. They hide everything all in the paperwork. Easy access from like private money loans, because one of my friends got a good deal on a private money loan in Las Vegas, and I saw your video about Alabama, about $500. You in the mix. I'm thinking to my head, this is a play we need to get involved in. And people saying that gentrification, whoop-de-whoop gentrification. And it's like, when you have the opportunity to be able to get it before it happens to be quote unquote gentrification, which I don't believe, they don't take advantage of it.
Wait. Let me ask you something. Brothers Token Black said he guaranteed. I didn't think he guaranteed. He said, this is what we're trying, this is what we're pushing to do. Did he guarantee the, what's the name in Tulsa Real Estate Fund?
No, it wasn't even a guarantee. It was,
that's what Tom said. It wasn't guaranteed. I thought that was a problem. At least he thought it was a problem.
Like it's preferable. I saw it was preferable return, not guaranteed return. And Black people don't. A lot of Black people just do not have the investor mindset where basically they come in, they put money down, and they expect a guarantee. They expect, let's get in the end zone automatically, which that's a problem. And with Tone Talks, I'm 20 years old, sir. A lot of people my age group, they watch Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks because it's like the oppression Olympics. It's like literally whipping yourselves in the back with a whip.
Yeah.
Oh, the white man. Yeah, because I'm thinking I'm ahead. Man, I'm 20 years old. I understand what's my industry. I sell cell phones, resell cell phones. I sell weave and wholesale real estate, and tax deeds seem like it will be my next venture.
Let me tell you something. You got land banks in Washington, D.C. You got land banks in Detroit, Michigan. Just type the word land bank. That's all. It's land bank. That's when the government takes properties. Yeah, agreed. There is no guarantee. To me, I don't think that's a guaranteed reason not to mess with the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. But I think that was what his benchmark of what he was going for. I don't think he literally said he's guaranteed he's going to win. I'm surely he knows better than that. If he doesn't, then he made a mistake. But with me, I'm going to tell y'all something a secret of mine. If I was the money I might throw into that account or that real estate fund would be money that I don't expect to get back. He said that himself, don't put your rent money in there. Don't put your light, gas, and water money in there. You know what I'm saying? But when you're trying to invest, you put your discretionary income, and Black people do have discretionary income. Ask the shoe sales, ask the people that sell tennis shoes, ask the people that run strip clubs.
Oh yes. Even my clients that buy my hair weave, they have $300 of discretionary income. So I believe that, people that follow him to the core and root heartedly, they're just going to stay forever broke. And people that take action like you, other brothers, and hopefully more youthful brothers in my age can be able to take advantage and to be able to see that there is a open door ready for you to be able to step in.
Yeah, let me tell y'all something, man. I got videos I made from like almost a year ago doing real estate that I haven't even like showed yet. Stuff I'm trying to do. And I started and I backed out of those deals, but I'm trying to have something in hand. So when I film these videos, I'm showing you step by step. This is how much this costs. These are the receipts. This is how much this costs. This is how much this costs. And this is how much I made. This is much I made. This is my check stub. I went to the lawyer's office. We closed. I made $50,000, $60,000. This is what I'm doing next. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to give. This type of information I want to pass on to people. I don't want to be out here talking about Black economic empowerment and I'm not empowering myself as well as others. And that's what I want to see. And I think that there are people on YouTube that do that, like Glendon Cameron and other people. And my homeboy I interviewed on my channel by the name of Tyron Spear. Brilliant brother. I met him when he was just making $20,000 a month. Now he's making I think he makes like $100,000, $140,000 a month. He's making a couple $1 million a year. Black dude, right here in Atlanta. You see what I'm saying? It's people out here making it that's getting it. And I think it's on us as Black people to surround ourselves with those people. Does that mean it's gonna rub off on you? It might.
Hey, I'm gonna say.
I believe it.
Hey, can I jump in real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna jump in. Then I'm gonna get on off. Look here, when it comes down to this victim mentality thing, I despise that. Don't get me wrong. I do know and understand that racism does exist, and we are being discriminated against, even still till this day. But here's what I despise about that victim mentality thing, because when you sit there and you always talking about when people always talking about how other people are stopping them from doing something, people start stopping themselves because they are already defeated before they even get out the door. And another thing, and even when they try, they don't put their all into it, because guess what? They know they can sit there and use the slightest little bitty thing that seems like racism. They can sit there and use that as an excuse not to try harder and just be lazy.
Exactly, man. Like, I'm just at a point where I feel like, and the reason I'm saying this, man, you gotta, let me tell y'all what happened. I'm gonna tell y'all my story. I'm about to get off. I'm gonna tell you what I did in real estate. So I bought my first property in 2003. I ain't have no money. And I had a mortgage on it. It was $150 a month. Don't seem like a lot, but when you washing cars and you trying to buy material wood, glass for the window panes because all the window panes was busted out. I'm trying to buy sheetrock. I'm trying to buy mud. I'm going to the bookstore and reading books and stuff like that. And my kitchen floor, the subflooring was torn up because I had 2x4s that was back then when they built houses. They would put tar on the ground and then they'll put these 2x4 wood slats in some metal, like U metals, and they'll nail it in there and then they'll sit it in the tar. Then they would nail to the subfloor and they'll put the plywood on top of that. Then they would run your flooring, right? So what I did was that subflooring was rotted out. So I had to come in there with an axe, bust that up, bust out all my cabinets, bust the damn walls down to the studs, ceiling and all. Then I had to come back in there and try to take that damn uncured cement and take a strike set and sit that there and hit it with some bullets and shoot the nail down into that cement. And it was hard. I had to get some earphones. This is some shit I had to figure out myself. I did that. I ain't have no help. All I had was some damn a strike set, some bullets, which is like a strike set is a little gun thing that you hit with a helmet and it shoots the nail down into the cement. That's what I did. That shit took me literally 2 years to fix that house and get it ready.
God damn.
And how I finished it. I got it up to a certain level, and the white dude that my dad worked with for years told me he would give me $4,000 to finish that house. And that's how I finished it. But guess what? He wouldn't even gave me that money had I never went out there and tried. Whenever you on the side of the road and you pushing a car and somebody riding down the street and they see you pushing that car, they gonna stop their car, they gonna get out, they gonna help you. But if you stop on the side of that road and you sit in that car, ain't nobody gonna come push your car. That ain't how it works, man. And when I sold that house, I made $20,000. My second house, I almost got foreclosed on. It took me a year to do that one. But then, right when I sold that one, God rest his soul, I sold that house about a week after my dad died. I don't know what happened, man. It's like the floodgates open. I just started selling. I was rolling. And I made $600,000. That was 2006.
Boss.
2007, I made like 100 and something. It slowed down. My money got tied up in 2008. And I lost my house. I did a comedy club in 2009. It didn't work. But I done been there. I know what it's like to climb out the hole. I was broke, houses foreclosed on, credit bad because I ain't even going to that. My credit was bad, $14,000 worth of tickets, no car, broke, no skills. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have nothing. No problem, brother. You welcome. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have no skills, nothing. You know what I'm saying? I climbed back. Now I'm out here teaching people. I'm doing okay for myself. I'm not rich. I ain't where I was, but I damn sure ain't broke no more. I got a little money in the bank. I'm okay. If I lose my job, I'll be all right. I ain't gonna be kicked out on the streets. But I had to get the momentum going. Now I'm flipping cars and I'm teaching class. And right now I'm looking for some houses. I went out looking for some houses today. How did I get there? Perseverance, man. It ain't got nothing to do. If you listen to this stuff that you hear on these people telling you, that's why I'm so emphatic when you hear me on my channel saying this stuff I say, because I done been through it. I done been down and out with nothing. I'm talking about nothing, no money coming in for months. I done been there. So you can't tell me about being broke. You can't tell me about struggling, worried about your little $50 cell phone bill every month. How you gonna pay your cell phone bill? I done been that dude, man. So if I can climb out the hole, you can climb out. I'm older than you. I started when I was 35 getting into IT, but I'm older than you are. Brother that said he was 41 trying to start over. No, that ain't old. That ain't old at all. Shoot, 61 ain't old. Colonel Sanders ain't get rich till he was in his 60. I'm still trying to make it to that big M. I'm trying to make my first million. I have no shame in my game. No shame. I'm trying to be a millionaire. You can go with me or you can just sit here and watch. It's on you. But that's what I'm trying to do. I ain't got no shame. When my heart stops, I want to leave my son a couple of million if I can do it. Shoot, if I can leave my 100 million. I want it all. I don't have no shame. That's me.
But sub, see, black people get scared of that. When you start talking about million, 10 million, 100 million, and that's when they start getting scared. That's when they start saying, what? That's when the fear start coming back in. Wait a minute, whoa.
But look, I'm a mad dog with mine. It is what it is. I'm a wild animal. I just saw a video there. A dog bit this dude. He was on the mail. Dude was a mailman. The dog bit him. And them folks took about 15 minutes to get that dog off that man. That dog wasn't letting go. They was beating him with sticks. They was kicking him. Stuff. That dog was, I was like, that dog is determined. It was funny. That's the type of determination you better have. Then when they got him off the dude, he chased him. He still wanted to get on him. And I don't know why he attacked the mailman, but what I'm saying is, black folks, that's how you need to be by choice, man.
Yeah, man, because when I started to become more entrepreneurial, it was in high school. I was just creating my website in high school. You know, all the black teachers was like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Because at the time, you know, I was a big Jay-Z fan, and this is when he came out with 444, and he was talking about, like, you know, property ownership big. And that's when I start like figuring out, okay, I need to figure out how to generate income to be able to get to that property stage. Then one of my black teachers, I don't know, we had like a little cubby with like, you know, a cubby where you put all your stuff in. My teacher literally threw away all my shit. And it had to deal with from master leases, not like contracts, but like master lease paperwork on how to do a master lease, to real estate investing 101. And I'm thinking inside my head, this is hateful. That's some hateful ass shit.
That's the typical situation. I could go into basketball and what I went through in basketball for me to make it overseas and play basketball after the shit I went through in high school. Having high school coaches tell me I go off in practice and get them niggas buckets, and the coach tell me, wait till so-and-so get in here, he gonna kill you. Like, this is the type of shit I did. So I done always been told no for everything I want. Like, remember Shaka Zulu, he said, everything I made it by force, as I have made all that I am. Like, it is what it is. Like, especially if you a black man. You a black man, with all due respect, you a black man, you listening to that, a woman probably, if I was a woman, you ain't getting none of I just couldn't get with a man that thought like that. I just can't. When I hear a man tell me it's hopeless, you can't get money, you can't get education, you can't get this, you can't get that, and if the white man don't do it, you know what a woman need to do? She be like, well, shit, I might as well go fuck me a white man. Because shit, you too damn soft. You telling me ain't nothing you can get without the white man getting it to you. Oh, yeah. I ain't got nothing for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. Like, you know, I respect this brother talking about he want that Bezos money. That's what I'm talking about. And I know you're like, well, man, niggas just hot pipe drink. I might not never get there. I'm realistic. I might not ever get there. But why be realistic? That's the most commonly traveled road to mediocrity, black people. Being realistic. What's that gonna do for you? It's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You just waiting to see it happen. I done told you it's gonna get done. It is what it is. It might take me 5 years, but it's gonna get there. That first property took me 2 years. Second property took me a year. I was 2 weeks for foreclosure on the second property. I took a risk. I was fearless. 2 weeks before foreclosure, I sold it and made $50,000. That was January 11th, 2006. Never forgot it. No, it wasn't. It's December 11th, 2005. Because literally the first day of January 2nd, somewhere in there, whatever the first day was, that Monday, I went in there in a lawyer's office and made $100,000 on a contract on some property and sold it. I bought it in the morning and sold it in 4 hours. That's right, low aim and sin. I bought a property at 10:30 and sold that property at about 4 and made 100 bands. I ain't gonna ever see shit Tone Wade. You can't ever. I ain't gonna ever see. You can make $100,000 in 4 hours, 6 hours. You think I'm gonna ever see shit? Me and this nigga ain't gonna ever agree. You know what I'm saying? And then I raised another $500,000 the rest of that year. And I was selling houses like this, flipping them, just making 110, making up 90,000, making 75. Man, you can tell me that. You're like, well, man, you just got lucky. I hate niggas like that.
Oh yeah, because they figure, well, if a white man didn't assist you, then it doesn't mean shit.
or I just got lucky. Man, you just was in the right place at the right time. Let me tell you something. Because we were talking about this the other day. Byron Allen, somebody said this, they said Byron Allen admitted that he got where he did because some white man at a party gave him some money. Let me ask you this. Most of these cats is young bucks on the internet, so I'm going to tell y'all something. Byron Allen used to be on way before Arsenio Hall was. He was on TV. Byron Allen, I think he predates the Joan Rivers show. Joan Rivers had a show. That's why Arsenio became Arsenio, because he filled in for Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers gave him his first shot. When y'all remember the Arsenio Hall show as kids, Joan Rivers gave him his first shot. Byron Allen predates both of them. He was on TV a long time ago. He'd been a comedian. He had been prepared. The fact that he even had his antennas up to even do the shit he did means that Byron Allen deserves credit and some respect. You can't say that some white man gave him his shot if he wasn't ready. That's like right now, if I want to play in the NBA, I need to work on my game and be ready. So when I get my shot, I get my shot. That's just what it is. But if you trying to say that Byron Allen got what he did because some white man just say, "Huh, man, I'm gonna make you a big billionaire TV conglomerate." Shit. You don't just do that. Hey, but black people so backwards. Somebody came in the comment section and said that somebody gave Byron Allen, changed his life. No, he probably got an opportunity, but half of being prepared for an opportunity is opportunities like the wind. Do you have your sails up? Is your ship ready? Do you have your rudder? Do you have your anchor up? And you ready for the wind to blow so your ship can move? Because it ain't gonna blow 4 and 5 times. It might blow once or twice. You need to be ready. So are you ready? That's just that, man. You got anything to say? Because I got to go out.
Nah, man. Sub, thank you. Thank you. All the business game that you give out for free, all the stuff that you give out for free. I tried the Hamilton trading bot, and it's already helping me. Thank you. Most definitely.
You the one bought the bot.
What was that?
You the one bought the bot. I think somebody bought it. I can't remember. Somebody bought it.
Yeah, I bought that. I put the money down. Steady. That's
what matters. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got to be. Make sure you turn it off when they tell you to.
Okay.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for being subscribers. Love y'all too, man. I appreciate everything, man. Like, appreciate y'all being here, listening to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a hater. If y'all heard hate in my voice and jealousy and envy from another person, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's a damn hater witch hunt out here. I mean, yeah, exactly. The dude talking about Byron Allen he was about it, man. Like right now, somebody called me right now and said, "Hey, man, give me $20,000 and you can make $1 million." Dude, you got 20,000? What did you do to get the 20? You see what I'm saying? Did you save your money? You listen to Tone, you won't even have that. Because you be like, well, I save money. That ain't gonna help me close the racial wealth gap. So if I call you right now and this lady say, "Hey, man, she gonna sell you a whole block off that damn land bank." She said she gonna sell you a whole block, every house on that street, the lots, everything. It need to be rehabbed, but it's yours. You can have it. All she wants is $20,000. It's 40 houses that you get to have. Are you prepared? Do you got $20,000? See what I'm saying? Don't tell me that, man. Because each one, I know one of them streets over there is all been torn down. I need to call her. Because the city, they tear properties down all the time. It's just vacant lots just sitting there that you can get for next to $400. My first house that I sold, I'm gonna keep it a buck, it got torn down. But I'll rehab it. It looked nice. I got pictures of it. I gotta find them. They somewhere at home. But that property sold. I sold and I made $20,000. Dude rented it out for about 7-8 years. Then it got towed down because they dogged it out. He left it vacant. I went in there one day. They done snatched the tub out. You know how niggas is. They snatched the wire and they tore it down. I'm gonna buy that damn lot just on nostalgia. He number probably $400. I'm gonna buy it. That lot, I know that land at least worth about $8,000. I'm gonna buy it for $5,000. But this dude I had telling you, and I'm hating because I'm pointing that out. Y'all have a good one, man. Y'all be blessed, man.
Thanks, peace.
All right, man. Stay up.